Hey, what's up? Y'all already know what time it is. You already know who it is. Mr. 386 for Volusia County. All that. I be all that. Look, man, we're going to get straight to it. Florida on Florida violence, episode 2. Now, there's a lot of games we could have covered because of scheduling. We just kind of out of order, but we just don't cover them how we cover them. But I wanted to cover this game, Florida State versus Florida, because both of them struggled this year. And you already know what time it is. Either you're going to put up or shut up when it's time to step on that gridiron. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, Florida State didn't try to lay down. They didn't try to lay down. Like, they definitely came to play. But, Florida had their number. Tommy Castelletto, like, man, that boy got sacked. Like, how many times that boy got sacked? He got sacked. On paper, it say 4, but it felt like he got sacked way more than that. They got and Florida State got a couple of sacks on DJ Latway, 2 sacks, and both of them threw picks. Both of them threw picks. Shout out to Edwin Joseph, the young DB on Florida State, and also shout out to Ben Hanks, another freshman DB. Both of the young boys, and both got picks off of quarterback mistakes. Joseph caught like a bobble, like it bounced off the receiver. He caught tip drill, just having good awareness. And, Tommy Castelletto literally at the end of the game, last play, he just hit that bit to see who would get it. And unfortunately, Ben Hanks came down with it. So, hey, it is what it is. But we're going to go over these stats real quick. Tommy Castelletto's, 17 for 28, 240 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. DJ Latway, 15 for 24, 168 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So as you can kind of see, like, they both kind of had their struggles and had to try to figure it out. But they had some success running the ball, Tommy Castelletto is literally like a running back, and DJ Latway is too. But like when he can, Latway runs better when they had packages together for him. Tommy Castelletto, he just like, if he don't see, he's gonna take off. Shouts out to the running backs, number 32, number 28. That was trying to, do some things. They had a couple tough runs here and there, but, man, for the running backs, you already know what time it is. Jaden Baugh had an absolute game. Like, that boy ran all over that Florida State defense. Like, man, that boy had 38 carries for 266 yards. No other Florida freshman running back has done something similar since Emmitt Smith. You know what I'm saying? So, and Jaden Ball's a freshman, bro. So, shout out to him, bro. 2 touchdowns on the night. He just had a field day with them boys, bro. Absolute field day. But, I will say Tommy Castelletto was able to, get something going on offense for getting the ball out of there. Shouts out to number 7. Shouts out to Deuce Robinson. Dude, I'm surprised Deuce ain't scored. But he was covered. He was covered. Like, he got a couple nice receptions though, and shout out to number 19 as well. But Florida really was able to find other playmakers other than who you would think, because if you ask me, they need to find more packages for Vernell Brown. I'm just saying, Vernell Brown and I forget the other receiver name, but he didn't play that night anyway. If he did, it would have been a problem. I forget his name, Eugene something. It'll come, Eugene Wilson, something like that. It'll come back to me, but number 9 had a night. He definitely had a night. Number 11 had a night. Vernell gonna get his. Even though he didn't do much with it, but you see number 89 scored, and number 86 scored, so that they were able to actually find other guys to get the ball to kind of get this game going. Now, as you can see, when it comes to team stats, first downs is kind of fairly even, 23 to 26. Third down efficiency, 5 out of 12 attempts. Excuse me, 5 out of 12, 6 out of 13. Fourth down conversions, 2 out of 4. And Florida was 2 for 2. Total yards, like, damn near close, but just you can see the significance between, like, passing yards and running yards. And like Jaden Ball just had a field day, and like the penalty margin was there, the turnover margin, like something like that, like that last turnover that came in the game didn't really matter because it was already up like by triple digits. So like they like Florida State was kind of driving it down the field, and they just wanted to get another touchdown on the board, but the game was over. So man, like both of those boys played really hard and came to play. It's just Florida got the best on them. Like Florida State could not stop the run. They ain't know what to do with that boy Ball. Like, oh my God, like they ain't know what to do with him. So shouts out to Florida for getting that win. They probably not getting a bowl game. I probably wouldn't even want to see them get no bowl game. They got a young team. I think Lagway is like a sophomore. So your quarterback a sophomore. So whenever you got a young quarterback, that's always gonna be issues. But nah, man, Florida violence. Hey, look, man, we here for it. Listen, like I said, if you don't come ready to play, somebody else is, and you might become a highlight. you might become a highlight. But getting on, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I did really enjoy the Florida Classic. Like FAM and Bethune, they always play every year. This is an ancient rivalry, just like the Florida State versus Florida rivalry is. This game started out very interesting because Bethune had jumped on them in the second half. In the second quarter. And people was leaving, man. By the third quarter, people were leaving. People were leaving. A lot of people on FAMU side were leaving. And just the fourth quarter, man, it's just like a spark just lit. And FAM to not lay down and kind of want to come back and make it a game. And shout out to them, man. Like they tried, or they attempted to come back and stay and keep the game alive, but like it wasn't enough. RJ Robinson, he had his struggles, getting the ball out, but as you can see, rushing, Thaddeus Franklin, he had him a night, 11 carries for 118 yards and 1 touchdown. Our man Burris, 4 receptions for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hey, he did what he had to do for the team. But shouts out to Javon Ross, 2 receptions for 82 yards and 1 touchdown, and Kamani Robinson, 11 carries, 89 yards and 1 touchdown, and Timmy McClain just had him a day, man. 22 for 33 ain't bad for a quarterback. Reception yards, 274 yards and 4 touchdowns. So as you can see, it's just a significant difference. The way they were able to move the ball and find other people. You had 4 different receivers able to, Timmy McClain was able to find that scored a touchdown and helped contribute. And the running back did his part. He did get sacked 3 times, but RJ Robinson got sacked 4 freaking times. So as you see how that go. But if you ask me, I think it was a wonderful game, absolutely beautiful game. I'm really proud of both sides. As you can see, Bethune kind of, had better yards with passing, running kind of similar, yards per carry kind of similar, first downs kind of similar, third down efficiency, fourth down efficiency, total plays, sacks allowed, penalties, kind of neck and neck, possession, all that stuff is neck and neck. But man, they really made it an interesting game because a lot of, like I said, by the third half, by the third quarter, a lot of FAMU people were leaving. But as you can see, they like I said, they made it a game. But shouts out to Bethune. I think Bethune finally beat them after 6-7 years, something crazy like that. It might be longer than that because Bethune's so damn trash. And now they finally got a decent coach, to come in, decent coaching to come in and try to help revive that program, because normally they be 2 and whatever, 3 and whatever, 1 and whatever. So 6 and 6 is definitely a win for them. So man, shouts out to Bethune for coming out, big in the Classic. And hey, look, shout out to Florida, bro, because if you ask me, the fans won. Florida on Florida violence, baby. Whether it's Florida State versus Florida or FAMU versus Bethune, we gonna cover it. Hey, I'm gonna holler at y'all next episode. All right, peace.